I'm Adam Steinfurth. This is a Sheets Help YouTube channel, and we're going to go over using Google Sheets with the SolveSheet add-on to solve an optimization problem. And this is the second video in a series. The subject of this one is figuring out staff scheduling. Because there are so many constraints and variables in this model, I'm using a paid version of SolveSheet. If you have a smaller problem that you're working through, you can use the free version. But for this one, we'll use the business plan. And let's talk about what we're looking at here. So all of these optimization problems can be broken up into three main sections. You have the objective, you have the variables, and then you have the constraints. And in this case, the objective is to minimize the number of staff that we're hiring. So let's look at that first. We'll do the objective. And we're minimizing the total employees hired. So this is always a cell with a formula in it. That's why it's your objective. You're trying to get the result of that formula to a certain value. In this case, we want to get it to the lowest possible value. Okay, so we'll click in here real quick. We'll see it's the sum of the number of employees. That's in row 6. And so we will tell the add-on. So we will go over to the SolveSheet sidebar. We're going to tell it the location of the cell we're trying to minimize, which is B9. And then we'll say min. Okay, so it's either you want it as large as possible, small as possible, or to arrive at a certain value. Right now we're doing as small as possible, so we're going to do min. And then we're done with the objective at that part. We need to move on to the second of three concepts, and that's the variable cells. So the variable cells, it's kind of what they sound like. It's what you can change in the spreadsheet to arrive at the answer. But I say you change, really it's the add-on changing it because it'll go through hundreds of different combinations really quickly. That's the value of a solver add-on like this. But we'll tell it where the variable cells are. So this is what can change, and what can change is the number of employees hired to start on a particular day. Okay, so this is B6 through H6. We'll type this in there. So that's the solver will take care of trying different numbers in there. And then the last thing is the constraints. So this is kind of the resources that we have to work with. And what we have to work with is, let's say management came into this model and they said, listen, we need at least 5 people on Monday, 6 on Tuesday, 6 on Wednesday. And the way that this model is built is that they work the day they start and then the next 4 days after that, and then 2 days off. So you'll see the waterfall in these rows here, where, for example, if the person is a Thursday start, they work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, that's how these counts roll up into the employees starting. But these values in column I will start to fill out once we hire employees. Okay, so our constraint is that the staff on duty have to be more than or equal to the minimum required, right? So let's come over to the constraints. We're going to do quick add just to make it a little bit easier and just to show you the feature. Instead of adding them one at a time, we can just type it in here. So we know the staff on duty, which is I13 through, we can do it all in one formula. I19, just designate the range, has to be greater than or equal to J13 through J19. It evaluates these one line at a time. So I13 and J13 get evaluated as a pair, and then 14 as a pair. So it iterates down like that. If we look down here at our cheat sheet, the constraints, we got this one. But the next constraint that we want to say is that they need to all be integers. And all that's saying is we're not interested in hiring a half of a person, right? We need whole people here. So let's say B6 through H6, which those are the variable cells, need to be equal to integers. If that's not, we're going to press add lines, and those constraints went up here. If that wasn't super obvious that you need to hit equals INT, right? Why would you know that? You can add that through, not the quick add, but one at a time. And then you would see this drop down has INT in it. Okay, but we don't need to do that because we did it the quick way. And then we choose the method to solve it. So in this, we'll just use the simplex method because this will be a straight line. There's no curves going on. And let's just click solve now. And you'll see the numbers in B6 through H6 are going to change as it tries different options. It'll be pretty quick about it. Needs to think for a few seconds, then it will write out the answer. So you didn't really see them change, but you saw them filled right away because it was doing it in the background. And it says the solver found a solution. So we'll come down here, and this is summarizing what you see on the left. And we found out that we can staff it with 8 employees. We can also just see a report of that. So if we click on answer report, this will make more of a permanent record, right? You could store this and then you could go back and play around with the model in different ways to see what works. But this is kind of memorialized it all. Look at all that wonderful information. I'm gonna go back to here. And that's how you do optimization for staff scheduling. Our next video is going to go over how to optimize your marketing budget. I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching.